Okay, let's take a look at Google, market leader, Google. So what's Google doing? I guess you could say where Google goes, the market goes, like they say about Goldman Sachs. So Google's just sold off real hard the last week, and you can see it gapped up this morning. Here's a 15-minute chart. There's the gap this morning, and it gapped right into resistance over here from this gap that was part of the ugly mess the last week. So you can see gaps into resistance and just sellers. Sellers are meeting Google there, and the reason that's happening, quite simply, let me get rid of these moving averages. Quite simply, the reason that is happening is because a lot of long people who bought long in here are trapped, and they say, well, if it just comes a little bit closer to where I got in, I'm going to sell and I'm going to get out. And we've all done that, and that creates resistance, and that's overhead supply over here, and that's why when we see these gaps into overhead supply, there's just a failure, because until that supply is absorbed, demand is going to be outstripped by it, and that means lower prices. If we take a look at a 1 minute chart real quick, you can see the initial gap up this morning over here, and then you can see we had the pullback, the initial pullback, and then when we got this retest of that pullback, what the market would expect to see, especially going into the close, is some buyers step in and push this thing up. When the buyers didn't show up, boom, that was it. And this is true of the whole market, I think, not just Google, but the market at large. Let's take a look real quick at 3C. We're going to look at the 1 minute chart of 3C, and you can see even over here we see distribution on 3C there. That should be higher. So they were selling right at the open on Google. And let's take a little closer look. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Here's what I thought was interesting. Towards the close, look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we get to start to see this indicator start moving up. And I don't know if you can see these bid and ask bars over here. You can see that it's being bid up in after hours. So we could see some bargain hunters were stepping in here for the pop, and they'll probably pop that one up tomorrow morning and sell it off again, I would imagine. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow morning. Okay, let's take a look at Baidu. That was another recent market leader. And here's a daily chart, and here's an hourly chart. I'm going to get rid of these moving averages. I don't think we need them. And same thing applies over here. Overhead supply coming into effect over here, and Baidu had a very nice gap up there, and it just could not hold on to those gains. There's a 5 minute chart. You can see drifted down again, retested those lows. Buyers didn't show up. Boom, broke down, and that's the long and short of that one. So Baidu. Let's take a look at Macy's, because Macy's came out with uninspiring fourth quarter guidance, and this is kind of an interesting chart. I think we're going to look at let's look at 3C on this one. And what I think is interesting here, you can see here's the gap up. Macy's got to gap up with the rest of the market, despite the fact that they had disappointing guidance, and really it's pressuring the whole department store retail sector. I think largely because of Macy's guidance. But you can see there was no accumulation whatsoever. This line should be way up here. Nothing. Sellers. But look what happens over here. Look at this posture that the indicator's taking, especially into the close. It's higher into the close, even though prices are much lower. And isn't that interesting? I think buyers are stepping up there because they know that retail is under pressure today. It's going to be a little bit oversold, and the buyers are stepping up there. But there's one other reason. I think this is really interesting too. If we look at just a regular daily chart, again, I don't need the moving averages there. You can see that this stock in particular, and the whole sector, it looks like to me from the ones I've seen so far, this already went through its topping process. This is January 2007 right here. This is 2006, this is 2007. You can see it already went through its topping process in October over here. It tested, let me just get a trend line out, how about that? In October over here, you can see it tested that overhead supply and it failed over there. But I think what's happening here is, I'm guessing, this is just a guess, if we see a market sell-off in the next week or so before Thanksgiving and everybody gets slammed, I think that what is happening here is maybe this is being accumulated down here at what looks like to be a double bottom support, and I think it's going to be accumulated, and hopefully I would think the market would rally after it gets sold off real hard, and we're going into a very lucrative time for retail into the Christmas season. So I'm guessing that this is being accumulated over here, and you know, if we get a Christmas rally or whatever, that retailers are really going to see a nice move. That's my guess. If we take a look at Sears Holding real quick, you can see kind of the same deal is going on over there in Sears Holding. Just quick trend line over here, you can see like a head and shoulders type of top there, from 170 to 190, so that gives us 170 to 150 is about the expectation we would have for the measured move. Again though, that overhead supply, there's a big gap right there. Overhead supply in here, resistance, and it's selling off. But let's take a look at 3C, and let's see if we can find some accumulation. And you know, when we get real choppy stuff like this, and we're trying to see what's going on with this, you know, is it going up or is it down? Sometimes we have to step back and look at a longer period. That's what we're going to do here, since we're looking at the long term. And look what's going on here. I mean, this is like really interesting to me. We're seeing accumulation down here every time it comes down, and then we're seeing accumulation over here, even though, you know, it's being sold off. So I think that these are being accumulated for that possible scenario that I mentioned. So I'm just about out of breath. I think that's going to do it for today. Just be careful with this market. I think there's going to be a lot more downside before this market is capable of a sustained push higher. So be careful. This is Brant from TradeGuild.blogspot. Don't forget, if you want to try out this 3C indicator that I use oh so often, and what are some of my, I can't even think of my positions right now. But anyway, if you want to try out this indicator, it works really great. And but you need Telechart, and of course I'm a Telechart affiliate, wouldn't you know, because I made the indicator based on one of their proprietary indicators. But I'm an affiliate, so on my website I have some links to Telechart, to Blocks as well, which is an outstanding platform, Blocks. And if you use those links, I'll get credit, and it doesn't cost you anything else. You don't pay any more or anything like that. Or tell them that you heard about Telechart or Blocks from Brent at TradeGuild.blogspot.com. And whether you get it or whether you already have it, I'll be happy to share this indicator with you, and you can try it out and see what you think for yourself. Okay, thanks a lot for listening. Good night.